So we are still working on the square rule. So you need to turn your packet to the page 1 where we left off the last time. I won't do that again. All right. So we're still on page 1. I don't know. Maybe I should. I'll work on it. Let's see. So we're still on page 1. All right. Now these are square roots of numbers that are not perfect squares. So how do you simplify a square root of something that's not a perfect square? See, if that was 25, the answer would be 5. But that is not a perfect square. Now, let's go back and look at all the perfect squares up to 24. What were they? 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. I don't need to go past that. Actually, I didn't even need to go that far. All the perfect squares up to without going over 24. Now, look at these perfect squares. What is the largest number that divides evenly into 24? It would be 4. 4 divides evenly into 24. So 4 times what? That would be 4 times 6, right? 4 times 6 gives me 24. So what you're going to do is you're going to write it down as 2 square roots. You're going to put 4 under one and 6 under the other. All right. I'm going to put 4 under this one. Now, the first one should be the perfect square. The second one is the one that's not a perfect square. So put the perfect square first, the non-perfect square second. See, 4 times 6 is 24. Now, which of these two can you take the square root of? You can take the square root of 4. What is the square root of 4? It's 2. So cross that out and write 2. But this is your leftover. You can't do anything with that. So you're just going to write it down right beside it. And the way you say that is 2 times the square root of 6. But we shorten it. 2 square roots of 6 is how we usually say it. But it is 2 times the square root of 6. But you can say 2 square roots of 6. All right. Same thing, 48. Let's write down all the perfect squares up to, but not including 48. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. The next one is 49. No, the next one's 36. Oops. The next one's 49. So I can stop there. Now, which one of these is the largest number that divides into 48 evenly? Now, you can test it on Desmos. You can take 48 divided by each of these numbers until you don't get a decimal. It would be 16. 16 is the largest one that goes into 48. And you know that 48 is 16 times 3. You can check that. So we're going to write it down as 2 square roots. It's going to be 16 and 3. I know you can't see that, but 48 is 16 times 3. But should you write the 3 first or the 16 first? Do you write the 3 first or the 16 first? Well, you're going to write the 16 first because that is your perfect square. What's the square root of 16? The square root of 16 is 4. This is your leftover, so bring that down, and that is 4 times the square root of 3. Let's do one more on this side. Let's do number 15. Okay. Let me write down all the perfect squares. Now, do you need to keep writing these down? No, because you can keep using your list on the other page. But I'm going to write it down anyway because I can't see both at the same time. 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 144. No, 121, 144, and 169. All right. What is the largest one in this list that divides into 175? Well, you can check. 169 doesn't go into 175. 144 doesn't. 121 doesn't. 100 doesn't. Nope, 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 nope. That's the first one. Now, how did I keep saying no? Well, if you say 175 divided by 169 and you get a decimal, it doesn't divide. 144 will give you a decimal. All of them will give you decimals until you get to 25. So 25 is the largest one. So I'm going to write that down. It's 25 times 7. 25 times 7 gives you 175. All right. So which one do you write down first? Do you write down the 7 first, or do you write down the 25 first? Which one? You always put the perfect square first, and then the other number goes second. What's the square root of 25? 5. This is your leftover, so that stays the square root of 7. So your answer is 5 square roots of 7. Okay. Now I'm going to change one of these problems. I'm going to change number 16. I'm going to write, instead, I'm going to write 3 square roots of 162. Now, if you make your list, you'll find out that the largest perfect square that goes into 162 is 81. You can test that for yourself. So you would write down 3 square roots of 81 times the square root of 2, because 81 times 2 is 162. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I want you to see what happens when you have a number in front. When you have a number in front, so I changed the problem. I put a 3 in front. So I'm just pretending like that was the original problem. What do you do with that 3? Well, it's going to be 3 times, what's the square root of 81? 9. This is your leftover. 3 times 9 is 27. So the answer will be 27 times the square root of 2. So I'm just saying, what do you do if that were to happen?